I'm going to show you how to adjust your mind into all 12 keys so you're not key dependent. My student recently said, "Hey Daniel, I know all these cool stuff in C, but having a difficult time thinking in other keys. Any tips?" So let's start. Tip or step number 1 is recognize the key signatures of the new key. And I know there's the circle of fifths and all that stuff, but for me, what really helps is just to actually memorize and associate key signatures with a key. It just feels much more easier and logical to me. But if the circle of fifths helps you, go ahead and use that. You can also just memorize the major keys and just associate them later with a relative minor.
So here is a list of all the different key signatures for you to try and memorize. You see, here are the flats and the sharps. Don't worry, here's a cool trick. As long as you remember that C has no sharps or flat and F has one flat, you can use this trick. And here it is. Take a look at E flat, for example. We have B flat, E flat, and A flat in the key signature. All we need to do to know the name of the scale is go back one flat and we have the answer, E flat. Let's do the same thing with A flat. So we have B flat, E flat, A flat, and D flat. All we have to do to get the name of the scale is move one flat backwards and we have the name, A flat. Now here's a cool trick to remember keys using sharps. The last sharp will always be a half step below the name of the key. So the last sharp over here is F sharp because there's one sharp. Therefore F sharp leads to G. A half step above F sharp is G. Let's take a look at D, for example. So we have F sharp and C sharp. C sharp, the last sharp of the two, is the leading tone of D. A half step above C sharp is D.
So if the key is C, the relative minor is A minor. And if the key is G, the relative minor is E minor. So all you have to do is go to the 6th degree and you have the relative minor. So here's how I practice it. I close my eyes and I see a number attached to a scale. When I see one sharp, I think about E minor or G. When I see one flat, I think about F or D minor. Step 2, define the diatonic chords of the scale and divide them by major, minor, and diminished. So if we're in C, the major chords will be the 1st degree, the 4th degree, and 5th degree. The minor chords will be the 2nd, the 3rd, and the 6th degree. And the only diminished chord we have within a major scale is the 7th degree. So now if I talk about F major, I have one flat. So the key is F, G, A, B flat, C, D, and E. So the major chords will be F, B flat, and C. The minor chords will be G, A minor, and D minor. And the only diminished chord we have in F major is E diminished. Now actually playing the chords, using root position chords only, go over the chords one by one in triad forms, and do that on all 4 sets of the guitar. Let's look it up using G major. So that means we have one sharp. So we have G, A minor, B minor, C major, D major, E minor, and F sharp diminished. Now it's time to use voice leading to see that we control the voices within that scale. Part of having good melodic skills as an improviser means you need to voice lead your motives and ideas. So practicing voice leading is a great place to invest as a musician. So because I wanted to use all different chords such as major, minor, and diminished, I chose a 1-6-2-7 progression for this practice. Okay, and the final step I want to show you is implementing the key signatures of that scale into a scale position you already know. So for example, if I stay in one position, I can implement all the different key signatures. Here's how I do it.
Alright, so just to do a short recap, here is the 4 steps we went over. The first one is going over the key signatures and memorizing them. The second step is to recognize the major, minor, and diminished chords of the scale, getting them into our playing and trying them out in different keys. The third step is where we see how different scale degrees move into each other with voice leading, which is one of the most interesting and important concepts. And the fourth step is to recognize the key signatures within any position we know. So let's say you know a certain position of a C major scale, choose a key and implement its key signatures into that position. So you develop independency that is based on your knowledge of key signatures rather than only basing it on position playing.
So that's it, everyone. Please hit the subscribe button, press that bell over there, and like this video. Also, don't forget to comment and let me know if you have any questions. I will answer every question. That's it. I'll see you soon.